I realized how much I overthink things and was procrastinating on certain things that other people didn't understand and they needed answers immediately. And I was aware of that. So I come to realize I needed something faster than reading 6 months more of books and instilling the change. I was at a point where I'm surrendered to whatever's going to work. And I think it depends on how bad they want it to, depends on how easily they can be shown how it does. And I cried on my counselor's couch when he told me that I have to change. There's nothing wrong with me. I just need to change the way I think and do stuff. I've been doing this for so long, just reading books and doing it on my own, to the point where if there's somebody that can speed this up, bring her on. Like, I don't care what she's gonna hypnotize me. I'm tired of living like this. So I was already completely ready to go, so surrendered. But I was scared just sitting in counseling when I was told that I need to think. I'm 36 years old and everything I'm doing does not work. I'm already living my life. Do I have time to change? I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? I got things going on now. So, and I found out, yeah, you can.
If you were to go back, if you could pick up the telephone and call yourself a month before we started working together, what would you say to that person?
Listen, you're doing a great job. Everything you've been doing is working so far, but you're at a point right now where you're doing business with people that aren't understanding why you're not moving certain ways. They don't need to understand.
I'm here with Carlo Knight. I'm so appreciative for my busy professionals that take a few moments out of their incredibly busy weeks to share their story about what they went through. We all seem to come onto the planet and end up carrying around a whole bunch of baggage that we don't need and a bunch of fake stories that just are so relieving to rapidly get rid of and upgrade. So Carlo, would you share your experience? We worked together, our first session, about 9 months ago. What state were you in prior to the session that caused you to reach out to get involved with my 90-day process?
I was actually at a point where my business was starting to transition and some things in my personal life were transitioning. And I already read books from going through a nervous breakdown. So I had a lot of good concepts and perceptions and things that I could instill to get me where I need to be. But at that time, I didn't have time. I realized how much I overthink things and was procrastinating on certain things that other people didn't understand and they needed answers immediately. And I was aware of that. So I come to realize I needed something faster than reading 6 months more of books and wait and instilling the change. Now that stuff does work, but I was in a situation where I needed something that could move a little bit faster than that. And that's when I was talking to Ben and he told me about what he went through when he was dealing with his business and being upset every day, but focusing on this, but having regression about this. And I'm like, that sounds like something I need to try, because I was in a hurry up and fix it state.
Fantastic. If you were to go back, if you could pick up the telephone and call yourself a month before we started working together, before you even heard about this, what would you say to that person a month before you even heard about the process to get their attention and to get yourself's attention and say, hey, you need to give this a try?
Listen, you're doing a great job. Everything you've been doing is working so far. But you're at a point right now where you're doing business with people that aren't understanding why you're not moving certain ways. They don't need to understand. They're not supposed to understand because you're all individual. You need to speed the process up. And I know this great lady that can take what you're already doing and just speed it up a lot more for you, where you're not holding things up in your own life.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And so having done the process, how is life different for you now than it was when you were struggling before we did it?
The process has helped out tremendously just on a daily basis. But just knowing there is a process like this is also relieving too, because you're going to have to do your own thing. It's kind of like reading books and going to counseling. There's things that fall hand in hand, but there's a comfort zone knowing that, okay, if I get into something where I need to really speed this up, even though I'm doing my due diligence every day, there is a process I can get you through it. You don't have to sit there and worry. So just knowing that this is here for you is healthy enough as it is.
Fantastic. Well, a lot of people are afraid of the process, especially men, I think, not wanting to deal with, stuff that's in there that is feeling related. How would you put them at ease? How would you take out the fear factor?
It would really depend on their personality and what they're actually afraid of. But like for me overall, I was at a point where I'm surrendered to whatever's going to work. And I think it depends on how bad they want it to, depends on how easily they can be shown how it does. And there's a lot of negative thoughts when they hear and they think about hypnotism or anything close to those words. People seem to stray kind of weird with it. So I would have to say it's a case-to-case thing. It just depends on the person and where they're at and what they're really ready for. Because there's people that may call you, they know they need to change, but they're not ready to take that step to even admit what's really wrong with them. They just know they need it.
Yeah. Was it a scary process?
Not for me, because I was ready. I knew what I needed to do. So for me, it wasn't. But in the beginning of my transition, when I first went through my nervous breakdown and realized that how I think and what I do doesn't work, yes, it was scary. I mean, I cried on my counselor's couch when he told me that I have to change. There's nothing wrong with me. I just needed to change the way I think and do stuff.
And that was before you did my process. And
yeah, that was before then. So yes.
So was it scary to do the process with me?
No, by the time I got to you, I was relieved. I've been doing this for so long, just reading books and doing it on my own, to the point where if there's somebody that can speed this up, bring her on. Like, I don't care what she's going to hypnotize me. I'm tired of living like this. So, so I was already completely ready to go, so surrendered. But I had been doing the work. The reason I brought up before I met you is because I know the scariest part of it was when I found out I have to change everything about me. That was scary. So if a person gets to you before they even had time to dabble with it, it'll probably be more scarier for them. But I was scared just sitting in counseling when I was told that I need to think. I'm 36 years old and everything I'm doing does not work. I'm already living my life. Do I have time to change? I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? I got things going on now.
Yeah.
So, and I found out, yeah, you can.
Talk about how quick it was for you. Because I mean, the process does work quickly. When you came out of the 2-hour session, what were your thoughts?
I had an idea what I was doing anyway. So I really was just looking forward to the process to see how fast I can get the results by doing the actual work that I was told to do after the process, not cross my fingers and hope what Tara said works completely. I still listen to the meditation every day. I still keep reading my books and the stuff you gave me to read. So yeah, when I came out of it, I felt good. I was ready to go.
Fantastic.
And day by day, it just got more instilled and things picked up. I remember working on a car or something and I was getting frustrated or something and overthinking it and starting to think negative. And I would actually turn the meditation on while I'm working. It got my mind back where it needed to be to finish what I was doing. So I used it many different ways.
Wonderful. So Carlo, I love working with people that are huge-hearted and accomplished as you are. And I know a lot of people like you reach out because they know deep in their hearts that they are capable of so much more. They're capable of being more, of giving more, of serving more, and of experiencing better joy and accomplishments in their life. Can you comment a little on that and how working through the process and getting rid of old things that don't serve you anymore make those goals a lot more possible?
Well, you kind of said it just then. I mean, if you get rid of everything that doesn't work for you, then only what's left, what works for you. But you still have to have all the things you just mentioned. You still have to have those desires, to have those drives, to even want better for yourself and for other people too. And there's things you have to know too, like you have to understand energy. You have to understand that the smallest things you do contribute to some of the biggest things in the world. It's a lot of little understandings you have to have. I personally feel like you have to get the best results from all the things that you can do for a person. But like I say, it's still, you can do so much for them, but it's a lot on what we have to do for ourselves too, and what we really want for ourselves and for other people and for the world at that. Like for me, I want to be better so I can allow my life to guide other people. Like for me, I know for a fact there's a lot of suffering in the world just from the way you think, not even the situations you're dealing with. Not even the physical reality. It's the way you feel, it's the way you're thinking about it and the way you feel about it. And if there's a process like this, for example, I got friends I talk to about different things, but some of them don't like to read. They don't have the mindset to read. They can't look at a book that long, and I understand that because I went through that. I only read a book because I was desperate for something other than what I already knew. I was desperate. I'm not a book reader like that. So everybody doesn't have that drive. So something like your process is basically to me for anybody who's ready.
Fantastic. So if you had to go back, if I had to transport you back to Carlo before he found this experience and he never got to experience this process, what would be the worst part about that?
I probably would have some progress because of how I am, but I would not be where I'm at now because there's too many things that literally when I reached out to you, I was almost at that stage of being desperate when I first went through a nervous breakdown. I wasn't going through a nervous breakdown, but I saw that if I don't get a drastic change, I'm going to have people pull business away from me. Certain things are going to change, but I had to be self-aware on my own, acknowledge it for myself that I'm overthinking, I'm procrastinating, and I didn't have time to keep reading about it and 6 months from now let it change on its own, because I got people that don't have to or need to understand what's going on with me, and we got to get stuff done now. So this is my process.
So if somebody came to you and said, look, I'm kind of interested in this, I think it might help me, what's it like? I'm kind of scared.
I actually have talked to people about it, and what I tell them all is it's not what you think it is, because you don't know, you haven't experienced it. So that's my main counter with people. Whatever you're thinking, it's not that. Especially whatever you're thinking is negative, it's not that. And I tell them, look at me. Not what you're thinking, look at me. So it's one of those things. But like I said, there's a negative outlook on, not even negative, just the outlook on it of some type of hypnotism. Am I going to be under a spell? What was it like under? They ask me all kinds of questions like that. And like I said, it's mostly their own assumptions about it. So I do my best to present it to them where it's just a process.
Yeah. And when you say, look at me, what is it that you're wanting them to witness and see?
Most of the people I talk to, I'm transparent because I don't need to hide anything anymore. So I'm very transparent. So they all know I have these things I deal with because I help most people with stuff too, but I need to understand that there's no perfect place in life where you're not going to need something. And so sometimes people look at me like he's always good. And I enjoy telling them, hey, I'm not good right now because I'm not always good. But that gives me the opportunity to show them there's a way to be good. Look at me now.
And when you say not good, what are you referring to?
Not good as in I'm having thoughts that I'm causing myself to have feelings about things that aren't helping me. They aren't good for me. They're bringing me down emotionally, spiritually, whatever the case may be. Fortunately, I have an understanding that the mind has a lot to do with stuff. Most people don't have that understanding. When they feel a certain way, they don't realize it's the thought they're having. So it's different for most people. So with me knowing that, I'm pretty sure most of the time it's the way I'm thinking is bringing me down, even if I don't know it. Like this, what we're doing now, I probably was nervous, but didn't know it because I didn't have that the normal, oh, my heart's beating fast and all that, because I didn't have all that. But I was probably nervous because I was actually having thoughts, do I need to reschedule? Do I need to find a better place to do it at? And I'm like, hold on, dude, you're trying to get out of it. And I just shut it all down because your thoughts.
So you've got much better ability to be aware of and to control your thoughts.
Yeah, with
Fantastic.
a lot of stuff, with the sessions I've done with you.
Yeah. If you were to pick 3 words of how your experience of life is now compared to how it was before we did the first session, what would be the 3 words that describe the empowerment that you now feel?
Progress. Life is beautiful from my perception, and the worry of what if this situation comes about is pretty much gone with me, because I feel like if I run into something that I need to work on, I can call you. But in the meanwhile, I'm still reading, I'm still feeding myself the right information, I'm still having the right conversations with the right people, with myself and so forth. But if I really get to the point again where I need to make another transition or whatever the case may be, I know that there's another opportunity there besides a book or a counselor.
Fantastic. So it sounds like what I'm hearing is you feel like you're a lot better to make the correct choices in your life.
Most definitely. And knowing that there's support to help you make those choices too makes a difference too, once you surrender to what is. So
beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, Carlo, I am so appreciative that you took time out of your schedule to be here with me today and to share your story. Is there anything else that you would like to share with people about what it was like to struggle, not get answers, find this process, work with me, and then get your customized audio tape after going into your subconscious and finding out what was tripping you up and being able to flip it over into something that is empowering?
when you're suffering within your own mind, this is 100% relief. Because when you're suffering from your thoughts, your physical reality isn't good. I mean, you can hide as much as you want. I created so many different people trying to hide things, and it just doesn't work. And when you meet a process like this, like I said, you can read and it does work. But when you meet a process where within 90 days, you can have a complete subconscious transition, it's life changing. And you can't beat it. I mean, what could be better than not having to suffer from your own self-inflictions within a certain time period? I mean, that's food.
Carlo, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here and to share your experience with our viewers. And for the viewers that enjoy this and got something out of it, just click the like button below. We appreciate your being here. And again, Carlo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for being who you are.
Thank you. Lots of love to you.
You too, and you have a great day.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.